Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of mine. This time I'm back with a new movie reaction. I did a poll and asked y'all which movie you would like me to react to, Maze Runner or Titanic, and almost 100% were for Titanic. So here I am with my reaction to Titanic. To be quite honest, I always saw a little bit as in parts of the movie, but I never saw it completely because it used to come in the evening and I would come home late, so I would always get to see a little bit of the ending. And then when I would get the chance to watch it since the beginning, it would be running late in Germany. I would fall asleep and I would miss the ending, so I never saw much. But we will see. If you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe. For the full uncut reaction, you can check out my Patreon. The link is in my description box below. And without further ado, let's start. That melody! Y'all, I'm feeling sad. Hold up. No, wait. A little louder for the deaf folks. I feel like I did a mistake putting this on. Oh, it's very difficult to make me cry. So bring it, bitch. Bring it. Allow me to get in the fields. Try to break me. Is that the real ship down there? As in, not that they created a replica for this movie. Is this an actual documentary? As in, is this the actual Titanic down in the ocean?
To see the sad ruin of the great ship sitting here.
So we're not gonna talk about the people that died on that ship? No, the poor ship. Y'all, I'm getting the feeling of Avatar, the second movie. And the first one, where humans were trying to exploit something special for their own personal gain in order to get money. And I suppose finding this ship and getting actual parts of it, I suppose, will get them a lot of money. Nah, I don't buy it. Humans are vicious, humans are cruel. In order to destroy others, we're capable of doing atrocities. We're capable to commit atrocities in order to get what we want. That's how cruel humanity can be. They're looking for something specific. Don't be lying to me.
We're in. We're in, baby. We're there.
We're inside the ship. Yoo-hoo. Lucky you. That's a safe. So what? Doesn't necessarily mean that there's something important in it. If I'm arrogant enough, if I'm wealthy enough, that means I'm also extremely clingy to wealthy stuff. I would die rather than allowing it to be lost at sea. I don't think there's something important in it. Ever heard of don't be happy too fast, too soon? Now, why am I grinning my ass off? Boys, I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so.
Should this have remained unseen at the bottom of the ocean for eternity?
I'll be goddamned.
Can you tell us who the woman in the picture is?
Oh, yes. The woman in the picture is me.
You actually think this is you, Nana?
She actually said she way too ugly, y'all. She said, you really think that this is your... You do not look like that anymore. You're seasoned.
This was mine. It looks the same as it did the last time I saw it.
To be quite honest, seeing all of her stuff that used to be hers, she left it all behind, and them suddenly being confronted with it, I would feel so emotional. And it would remind me of the tragedy that happened back then. Look at her. She also trembling.
Along the side, below the water line. Then the forward compartments start to flood. Now, as the water
Thank you for showing her in vivid detail what happened that night. This man literally has no compassion. I would be so upset looking at this man. Thank you for telling me what happened. I was there. I saw it.
It's not designed to deal with that pressure. So what happens? She splits right down to the keel. Finally goes under about 2:20 a.m., 2 hours and 40 minutes after the collision.
She's about to explode. Like, you see the heavy breathing is because it's actually difficult for her to reminisce in those old days. This man making it way worse on her mental health.
Thank you for that fine forensic analysis, Mr. Bodine.
That I would kill him. If I was Rose, I would kill this man. Already being on that ship, like she's a survivor of that horrifying moment. I was on that fucking ship. I was there with my family, with friends, with loved ones. And then a dreadful event, because the driver wasn't careful enough and didn't calculate enough. The iceberg is not just what you see above the surface. You just see a little bit from the full length of the iceberg and you assume that the iceberg is just that little, as in everything you see. It's not like that at all. An iceberg is very, very huge below water. They didn't notice at first that the iceberg from below the surface was piercing the ship. So, actually being confronted then with a huge ass alarm, with mass panic, with a lot of people actually putting themselves first and actually getting off the ship because they're wealthier, perhaps, or in general, I think that's a rule. Women and children and then the men. A lot of people also like losing their husband, losing their friends. The men actually waiting there in horror, having the feeling that the boats where they could have escaped from weren't gonna be enough and that they would actually die on that ship. And then a lot of people like pushing each other in order to like get to the boats before someone else. And then they died because they were being too pushy, because they didn't want to wait, because they wanted to be the first ones to get off that sinking ship. It is traumatic. And then imagine you not being the first one to get off that ship and you actually have to experience how the ship is actually starting to fill with water. It becomes heavier. And if that analysis that this man just did with the animation of the boats filling with water and then actually splitting and then slowly again sinking, imagine you are on that boat, you see that the boat is slowly turning and you have to run up here in order like not to immediately be dragged into the depths of the ocean. And then imagine like being in the middle where the ship splits. Like if that ship splits and you're literally in the middle of the crack, you're immediately dead. Like, imagine actually being there and then miraculously surviving. It leaves a huge ass trauma. And you could see this woman actually, like, looking at this and then, like, trying to avert her eyes because she was done with this man's analysis. She couldn't even deal with actually seeing this, because actually seeing this and being traumatized by that, you would actually immediately reminisce, because I don't think that you can actually heal from a horrible experience like this. You would actually be petrified for life. This man not even taking her feelings into consideration, and he just continues. She actually breathing in heavily and then averting her eyes because it's difficult for her to actually be confronted with that. She still hasn't moved on from that. So besides the fact that she was definitely traumatized, she must have really experienced a huge ass amount of loss back in the day. And this man not even caring, he just explaining the entire story. Bitch, I was there. You don't need to explain it again. I feel bad for Rose. Like, imagine what this woman is going through right now, actually being confronted with her past. Like, y'all, the trauma that would come out. I would even feel anxiety. Anxiety of not being capable to hold back the emotions that would be awakening inside of me, just seeing that boat completely in pieces, knowing what it used to look like, knowing that I would walk on that. Look at this. Reminiscing in the good old days before everything went to shit. Look at her. She traumatized. That is painful.
It's been 84 years.
It's okay.
The meme.
Anything at all.
So, you want to hear it or not?
Hear this or not, Mr. Lubbock?
That! Let her finish!
Put my faith in you, good sir.
Throwing out the money. Is that what used to happen? The people that actually had money would have the privilege of getting off the ship first. When it comes to survival, we take it from Teen Wolf. I would sacrifice my own son. You know? Like, you get what I mean? When it comes to survival, everyone is selfish. Everyone, because no one wants to die. So I wouldn't be surprised if everyone, even the nicest people on that ship, when it came to survival, when it was the moment where the ship was sinking, that everyone became selfish and they were like, me first.
Jack, you are part, so you bet everything we have.
When you got nothing to lose.
I love the blue eyes. Fuck me.
We're going to America. Full house, boys. No.
He happy now. Famous last words.
Titanic go to America in 5 minutes.
Miss it. You're not missing much, bitches.
Practically goddamn royalty. Wait.
I love it. I just love to hear Italian once in a while in a movie. Usually they always use Spanish.
Anyway, we don't have any lights. We're Americans.
You can see he's Italian.
Bitches in the world, you know that?
Famous last words. We're lucky.
Our master shipbuilder, Mr. Andrews here, designed her from the keel plates up.
Well, I may have knocked her together, but my dear, it's Mr. Ismay.
Y'all, I would be bored to death on that dinner table.
You know I don't like that rose.
And you know I don't care, right?
She knows.
The fuck? You actually dare to take the cigarette away from me?
You know of Dr. Freud, Mr. Ismay? His ideas about the male preoccupation with size might be of particular interest to you.
What's gotten into you?
I know what's gotten into her. It seems in my eyes that I misjudged her a little when I saw her picking out portraits because I'm on a ship. I take small things with me. I don't know, a blanket, a few pieces of clothing, but that's about it. I don't take my entire house with me. So I actually thought that she was like this arrogant brat back in the day, but apparently not. It seems to me that she is kind of entangled with Carl. And in my eyes, that already seems like a toxic environment to me. Is he the fiance that she couldn't stand? Before we actually got to see like the back in the day, she said a name about who that necklace belonged to that these people are looking for. And she rolled her eyes, as in the old lady, the now her. She rolled her eyes. Was that him? Because it kind of would make sense in my eyes from the little pieces that I saw. She's being pressured into being someone she's not. As in, she's pressured into a relationship with this man, and he's noble, as in he's wealthy. So that means he also has a lot of connections. Perhaps he's a businessman. So back in the day, they would say that the women should just sit on the table and not say anything, just look pretty. Like they don't have any brain to think for themselves. And even if they did, they shouldn't use it. They should just stay silent and allow their men to make the transactions with other business partners. And she is forced into behaving perfectly. And that's not who she is. I don't like to sit here and be all pretty. I think I can do more. I think I'm wasting my time at this dinner table. I'm literally just sitting there having to watch you and just agree with everything as if I'm some lifeless puppet. I'm not a puppet. I have an opinion. And if I want to smoke, I want to smoke. And in my eyes, not only the man next to her, but also, I suppose that's her mother. Because the way she behaving, she the mother. She's like, you know, I don't like it. And she already had like that sassy attitude towards her mother. Which means that the mother is kind of trying to make Rose get into her fiance's good graces. As in she's trying to make Rose behave in a way that will want to have this man want to have her by his side. She's kind of trapped in a situation that she didn't choose and that she would love to get out from. She feels like she's suffocating because everything about her is monitored. She can't say what she wants. She can't behave like she wants because everything needs to be calculated in order to match this man's liking. Everything she does is being criticized. She feels controlled by the people around her. And no matter how she tries to turn the situation, as in acting out, she keeps on being reminded of the fact that she can't do that. So it's like she's trapped in that situation where she wants to remove herself from the equation, but the mother keeps on dragging her back into this. This is a toxic environment. And the more I'm surrounded by the toxic environment, the more I start like I can breathe. I will have anxiety attacks. I will have panic attacks. And if I'm not strong enough, I will take my life. This man actually taking that cigarette away from her, the mother technically approving to what this man did. She was like, my mom not on my side, my future husband not on my side, everyone talking about superficial stuff, not caring about my opinion. I'm out.
Oh, forget it, Boyle. Like have angels fly out of your arse is getting next to the likes of her.
Thank you for bringing close that we're viewed differently in society. See? She being controlled. She being controlled and manipulated to their liking.
Parties and cotillions, yachts and polo matches. Always the same narrow people, the same mindless chatter.
What did I say?
Cared or even noticed.
Everyone talking about superficial stuff. Anxiety, panic attacks. Sooner or later you explode. Didn't I analyze this? Sooner or later you can't deal with all this pressure anymore because this is psychological stress. This is huge ass pressure on you. And a human can only deal with so much. Are you using this to end your life or to catch some air? Trying to end her life. What did I say? When you're not strong enough? Am I surprised? No. I said it. I warned y'all. You came here just for this. I know you did. I feel so bad for her. Because how old was she? This is not just something that just happens. You don't just immediately want to end your life. This has a long time coming.
Stay back. Don't come any closer.
The last thing she wants is someone else telling her what to do.
No, you won't.
What do you mean, no, I won't?
When we actually arrive at the moment where we want to end our lives because of all the frustration, all the negativity that we feel, the reason that we want to end our lives is because we have the feeling that there is no way out of the situation. Nothing we can do will be capable to erase all that negativity, all that pain that we're feeling on the inside. And when you don't feel that there's any way out for you, that the suffering you have will never be capable to disappear, that you will always have like this huge ass weight on your chest. You want to end your life. But we want to kill ourselves because we don't see ourselves that there is a reason we can get out of this. But in moments like these, we want someone to make us believe that we can get out of this. What exactly are we hoping for? I just said it. Hope. We want someone to give us hope. Because when we arrive at that moment where we want to kill ourselves, we don't have hope anymore. Because if you do, you wouldn't want to end your life. So, deep down, considering the fact you don't have hope anymore, you crave, you beg for someone else to show you that you can hope for better days. That you don't have to end your life. Because there is still hope for you. There is still hope for your situation. There is still hope for your life. You just want someone to give you hope. So when someone actually gives you the feeling that there is hope for you, you don't kill yourself anymore. You allow them to get you to safety. And that person that makes you feel hope again becomes your anchor. You psychologically bind yourself to that person. They become your safe space. And if they would tell you, run through the fire, nothing could happen to you, you believe it. And you do it because they saved you. So you trust them and you believe they would want to keep you safe. That they care about you and your well-being.
You let go, and I'm gonna have to jump in there after you.
You don't want to do this, girl.
Ever been to Wisconsin?
Trying to calm her down, trying to distract her from wanting to kill herself, and that will make it easier for him to actually convince her to let go of the thought of wanting to kill herself. She'll allow him to save her.
Give me your hand. You don't want to do this.
That! See what I mean? You see what I did there? You see the analysis? We just want someone to give us hope when we are in that moment. Oh my god. And you see? She's screaming. Why? Because she don't want to die. They think he tried to molest her. Come on now.
And I slipped, and I would have gone overboard, but Mr. Dawson here saved me, and almost went over himself.
Was that the way of it?
Better than telling that she wanted to kill herself.
Rose is displeased. What to do? I know.
I don't blame her, y'all, for wanting to escape the situation.
The young lady slipped so suddenly and you still had time to remove your jacket and your shoes.
It's not really believable.
It's a reminder of my feelings for you.
The reminder of how filthy rich I am. He trying to smooth her with expensive jewelry. Meanwhile, poisoning her psychological health and perhaps even her physical health on the other side. And then he tries to buy her forgiveness.
Folks died.
Look at that.
No brothers or sisters.
She went to find him. What did I say? Psychological attachment.
I know what you must be thinking. Poor little rich girl. What does she know about misery?
No.
What I was thinking was, what could have happened to this girl to make her think she had no way out?
Ooh, I love him. I love him.
It was 500 invitations have gone out.
What did I
All of
say?
Philadelphia,
Suffocating.
standing in the middle of a crowded room, screaming at the top of my lungs, and no one even looks up.
Do you love him?
That would be the question, though.
Do you love him?
No, she don't. Why?
Asking me this.
It's a normal question.
Do you love the guy or not?
It's not a rude question at all. She just has the feeling that if she actually talks about it, it makes the gravity of her current situation even worse. Because she is engaged, okay? She feels she is suffocating. And his question was, do you love the guy or not? And she's like, you can ask this. If you don't love him, it would explain why you feel like you're suffocating. If you do love him, you shouldn't feel like you're suffocating. So he's just technically trying to force the truth out of her. She knows that she don't like him like that, and that's why being forced to actually marry this man, perhaps even having to sleep with him, having to carry out his child, she feels disgusting. She's screaming because she can't deal with that situation. She wants to escape reality.
This is not a suitable conversation.
She don't want to admit the truth.
Thought you were leaving.
I am.
You can leave, bye.
What is this stupid thing you're carrying around?
Didn't you want to leave?
So what are
And
you
you're still staying.
They're,
She's using every opportunity to be with him. Every single one. And she used this intervention in order to distract him from what he wanted to ask her, as in getting the truth out of her. It's also called being in denial.
You see people.
I see you.
And that actually means he sees through you. He knows that you're suffering.
You wouldn't have jumped.
But the purpose of you.
That's him saying she's a fighter.
Even if we only ever just talk about it.
No, we'll do it. We'll drink cheap beer. We'll ride on the roller coaster till we throw up.
They actually show that he's bringing freedom into her life. He's giving her ideas that make her feel free. He's pushing the thought that she can change her life, the situation she's in.
Curious about the man who'd saved my life. My mother looked at him like an insect.
Yeah, why? Not because you know he poor.
Squashed quickly.
Yes, she knows that this man is capable to win her daughter's affection. And that means it would jeopardize the fact that her mother wants her daughter to get married to that little bitch. No, no. No. You can change the clothes, but you can't change the person. Even if I wear all this luxurious jewelry or those expensive clothing, it does not change the person who's deep on the inside. I will never be one of those luxurious ladies or one of these really luxurious gentlemen. I'm just not. They were raised differently. They had a different education. I'm not like that. So I will always stand out from the crowd if I actually am getting in a crowd with all those wealthy men or these wealthy women. I will always stand out. And that's okay. I don't need to be like them. But what I hate, after feeling that Carl invited Jack just in order to like shame on him, you know? Because he knew this man is not luxurious, he knew he don't have the money. So if he invited him, it would be like a nice entertainment. As if he would be like a monkey, you know? They would have used this man's distress, this man's embarrassment to enjoy themselves the evening. That's his lady, Carl. Take the notes.
Surely you remember Mr. Dawson?
Dawson, you could almost pass for a gentleman.
Almost.
Now that was a shade from Carl's side and him saying, if I look at your sorry ass, I'm happy I'm not a gentleman. Because people view you as a gentleman and I see what a bitch you are. Thank you for not calling me like you. You and I not the same species.
Tell us of the accommodations in steerage, Mr. Dawson. I hear they're quite good on this ship.
The best I've seen, ma'am. Hardly any rats.
She using every single opportunity to make this man look bad. Hoping that her daughter perhaps will be superficial.
Quite a fine artist. He was kind enough to show
And she using this opportunity to talk good about him. I love this so much. The mother actually hating this man's guts. And she's trying, considering the fact that they're like all business partners. All from the same class. Rose's mother is trying to make Jack look stupid. You know, we're all humans. We all are judgy. And if you actually are encountered by people that truly care about image, they will like give you like the side eye or perhaps make some comment that will kind of make you feel the need sooner or later, considering the fact it can be a huge ass stress factor, break off contact with that person because they keep on adding insult to injury, as in he not one of us, he don't know how things work here, and blah 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 blah. They will like keep on adding the sauce until sooner or later she will dump his ass. That's kind of what Rose's mother is trying to achieve. Rose, on the other side, she's like, you're trying to talk bad about him. I'm gonna highlight this man's good qualities because I'm not superficial. Even if this man is not actually famous, he not rich, he has so much to offer to the world. I'm highlighting this man's personality, considering yours is trash. That will make them love him.
But I won my ticket on Titanic here at a lucky-handed poker.
And you find that sort of rootless existence appealing, do you?
See? They do not care. They're trying their best to like shame on him. And this man is like, I could care less about your opinion. I'm proud of what I'm doing. And that's something that the mother does not like. And I'm so here for this. Squirm in the back, you little motherfucking bitch. What you want to do? I don't want to get killed. Because what happens when I'm in a confined space with a little bitch? I kill him. I get him for not wanting to stay there. He's like, if I'm with you in a room, I kill you.
So you want to go to a real party?
I think it's actually accurate that they're adding in here that when you have a lot of power, there's also a lot of responsibility that comes with that, and freedom, like doing what you actually want to do, like living your best lives, I don't know, going to a reef, or like going into a bar, like hanging out with your friends, or doing something that isn't related to business affairs is not really accessible to you anymore, because everything you do will affect the image of your business. So you are kind of limited to only appear on like galas, etc., like always looking fine in a suit, whatever. And when you are poor, as in the common folks, no one really pays that much attention to you. So when you are going to a club or to a reef, whatever, and you are like just being crazy, you're being wild, I don't know, just to put an example out there, you're taking your clothes off, jumping into a fountain. Besides the fact that it will circle around social media maybe for like, I don't know, a month. That's all there is. Because the attention is not on you personally. You're not in the spotlight.
We're gonna have to get a little bit closer. Like this.
I can't. Are we seeing that she's living her best life? Are we seeing that he actually brings life into her world? I don't think I've seen her smile as much as being with him. What's wrong with you now? You always have to complain? You always have something to criticize about her? I love the hairstyle here.
Like that again, Rose. Do you understand?
Why? See? They're trying to keep her controlled.
I'm your fiancé.
Well, girl, doing what you did last night with that man doesn't mean you are his...
Yes, you are, and
What the fuck?
You will honor me. You will honor me the way a wife is required to honor a husband.
What did I say? Psychologically torment her and physically torment her, and we saw it.
Tea, Trudy.
Yes, ma'am.
And now she has something to add. Like, literally, she cannot catch a break. First, it's that bitch-ass husband, and then it's the mother doing something. Like, this is the silence before the storm.
You're not to see that boy again. Rose, I forbid it.
Y'all, I'm this close to, like, actually starting, like, a hurricane. She cannot catch a break! I did say it! The mother and that bitch-ass husband. They keep on circling in on her. They're trying to keep her contained. They're trying to keep her controlled. She cannot act like herself. Every time she is with Jack, she can be who she truly wants to be. And that's why she's always so happy with him. And that's, I think, also why she falls in love with him. He introduced freedom in her life. Because she has been controlled and contained for her entire childhood. First off by her mother and then by the husband and then both of them. I think she wants something from that husband. Not like romantically, but like, I don't know, maybe she wants this man's riches or maybe this man's name. And that's why she's kind of forcing the hand of her daughter in order to like get with this man. That bitch-ass husband that's coming in there and causing a scene because he's like, you will never act like that again. Like, you will not make a fool out of me. Hanging out with that commoner. Like, my image will suffer because of this. You are my wife, so you will do whatever it takes to honor me. And considering you can't do that, I think I will need to be more forceful on you. If psychological pain isn't really enough, then I will resort to physical pain. Like, he's abusive. And don't be talking shit to me and saying that the mom doesn't know. She's like, in order to have what this man can offer to us, I'm willing to allow him to destroy you. Like, first the husband came in and now she's adding her sauce. Leave her be!
You know the money's gone. It is a fine match with Hockley. It will ensure our survival.
Your survival, but he is actually tormenting me?
Why are you being so selfish?
I'm being
Selfish! You're forcing her hand here!
Do you want to see me working as a seamstress?
And now she's playing the guilt trip.
Our memories scattered to the winds.
Now she's playing her hand. Oh no, please have pity for me. Forcing her hand in order to get what she wants. Trying to guilt trip her into feeling that she has no other choice but to break it off with Jack and continuing with this endless torture. Where she's stuck in a psychological and physical trauma each and every day. Until she actually takes her life. Because next time it will not be Jack saving her.
Mr. Hockley and Mrs. DeWitt-Bouquet continue to be appreciative of your assistance.
Please, I just want to speak to Rose for
Gentlemen,
1 second, all right?
Please see that Mr.
Please.
Dawson gets back to where he belongs and that he stays there.
She knows he was there. He fell first, she fell harder. Lie to me. He actually Son, this is considered stealing.
Soundly, young Rose. I have built you a good ship, strong and true. She's all the lifeboat you need. Just keep heading
Famous
aft.
last words before the boat sinks.
I can't see you.
I need to talk to you.
No, Jack, no.
You're the most amazingly, astounding, wonderful woman that I've ever known. And
Jack,
no, let me try and get this out.
She don't want to hear it. Why? Because she feels the same way. And while he will be confessing and saying, I don't know, you give me freedom, you gave me wings to fly, in her head she will be like, you did that to me too. As in, I feel the same way about you too. And so that will make the reality of the situation hurt her even more. Because she knows her hands are tied right now. She's being forced into this engagement in order to save her family's legacies. Which, by the way, the mother can fuck off. But here, if he confesses, it will be even harder for her to stay away from him. Because it will be like him making the reality of the situation sink in for her. I love you. And I know you love me too. So you should fight for this. You should fight for us. I know you don't really like him. And I know that you will not be that selfish in order to give up your freedom, your happiness, in order to please someone else.
You jump, I jump, remember? I can't turn away without knowing you'll be all
Not with that boat preference, because she wanted to jump.
They've got you trapped, Rose.
Yeah.
You're gonna die if you don't break free. Sooner or later, that fire that I love about you, Rose, that fire is gonna burn out.
And you know that.
I'm going back. Leave me alone.
She's like, if you come into my life again, I won't be capable to fight anymore and be not selfish in their eyes. And what does that show us? She loves him bad. Look at her being numb. She won't resist too long. She's too involved in this. She in love. Look at this. Her coming back. Now this is the freedom that she needed all along in her life. Finally.
It's the last time Titanic ever saw daylight.
Damn.
Jack, I want you to draw me like one of your French girls.
All right.
Just this. Nude portray. When did you ever paint your French girls with clothing?